Today I'm dealing with a real highlight of a PC case, a truly excellent case for only €110 or about 95 British pounds. We're looking at none other than the inconspicuous Kolink Unity Arena ARGB. I had a feeling in my gut this could end up being a really good one, but once I took a closer look at it and even installed hardware into it, the case actually far exceeded my expectations. So much so that I would even state it is my new favorite within this price range. I'm so impressed by the Unity Arena ARGB that I'm even moving my secondary PC, my personal system, into this case. Needless to say, a lot has to do with the appealing aesthetics, but Kolink not only impresses with its gorgeous tempered glass look, but also in terms of features and whatnot. As far as what comes included, the usual screws and manual, but also a PCI bracket for vertical GPU installation. In my opinion, the super elegant tempered glass look is amazing here. I'm really happy that more and more cases and brands are now embracing the trend and offering aesthetics that fully meet my tastes and preferences without sacrificing decent airflow. However, it has to be said that the tempered glass does come with a bit of a tint to it. The build quality of the Unity Arena is not at the highest level, but in the price range mentioned, it is still something to behold. Furthermore, the case is neither particularly large nor small, yet it does support even eATX motherboards. Of course, with that kind of design layout, neither fans nor radiators can be mounted at the front, but we are being offered plenty of space for both on the side. A key highlight for many, especially within the mentioned price range of €110 or 95 pounds, the 4 pre-installed 120mm ARGB fans sporting really spectacular looks and lighting. In addition to that, these are PWM fans that are even hooked up to an integrated ARGB hub / PWM fan controller. There even are a few headers we could still make use of, and we could actually get even more out of all that if we go with daisy chaining. A few colors and effects are already included, and you can switch between those using the reset button, or you could synchronize all the lighting with the motherboard. What pleasantly surprised me was the fact that the pre-installed fans are actually usable, not only there for looks, but do provide adequate airflow without producing a whole lot of noise. While they are not the quietest fan models, the noise levels are more than satisfactory once fan speeds are adjusted. That's truly top-notch at this price point. Intake of fresh air obviously happens on the side. The side panel therefore features ventilation holes, and there's even a magnetic dust filter in between. Both side panels, whether steel or glass, can be removed and put back on without having to rely on any screws. It's all solved using push pins. I'd like to point out that there's a good reason the PSU shroud comes with so many ventilation holes. With the correct layout configuration, also using the hard drive cage area, up to 3 120mm fans can be mounted to the bottom part of the case. Radiators of up to 360mm are supported both at the top and side, while a 240mm radiator should also fit on the PSU shroud mentioned. I still find it a bit of a shame that rubber grommets were left out for those cutout holes. A trend, unfortunately, more and more cases and brands appear to follow. But thanks to the angle of those cutouts, the lack of rubber grommets isn't particularly noticeable right away in a negative way. At the top, outside of the case, there's a magnetic dust filter. At the bottom, for the power supply and whatnot, a removable filter that slides out. Unlike with most recent cases, Kolink did not bother hiding the hard drive cage in the main compartment. One 3.5-inch drive can be installed toollessly, while a second 3.5-inch hard drive, in theory, could be mounted on top of the cage, even though those mounting holes don't appear to always be ideal. Of course, a 2.5-inch drive can be mounted into that same tray, and another one can go on top of said cage. The hard drive cage also allows for slight adjustments to be made for certain configurations, or if needed, it could leave the case entirely. Yet I'm still expressing my wish and request here. I would have liked seeing another floor for the cage, basically make it taller. That obviously wouldn't have been a problem in theory. Anyway, there are 2 classic mounting points for 2.5-inch drives behind the motherboard tray. I think it's great that for I/O we are getting USB Type-C on the Unity Arena, but on the other hand, we see a mix of USB 3.2 and 2.0 for the Type-A ports. They could have simply gone with USB 3.2 only, but I guess that's just complaining for the sake of complaining. Now, what was installing hardware into this case like? In fact, it is one of those rare instances. It went quickly and conveniently. It is also clear that the Unity Arena could accommodate much more bigger components that eat up a lot more space. This even includes graphics cards with a max length of 420mm. Thanks to the offset mounting holes at the case's top, any clearance issues between radiators and motherboard heatsinks are completely avoided. However, the Unity Arena allows for tons of configurations, which is mainly thanks to the fan/radiator bracket on this side. All kinds of different layouts and build ideas pop into my head right now. While my cable management efforts are, as usual, anything but good, I have to admit that there's a lot of potential here for routing cables and tucking them away and even using those integrated Velcro straps. By removing most of the PCI expansion slot covers, we could make use of the supplied bracket and screw that one in to allow for easy vertical graphics card installation. The only thing missing would be a riser cable, which however is rarely included with cases. Conclusion. Now, I didn't notice any real serious flaws while dealing with the Unity Arena, neither before, during, nor after assembly. Perhaps it could be mentioned that Kolink could have been a little more generous as far as the number of screws is concerned. I mean, those that are typically used for motherboards and SSDs for instance, but then again, you could just skimp on a few screws while installing SSDs, only using 1 or 2 screws instead of 4, and you're good to go again. I would have found it perfect if the hard drive cage was taller and allowed for more drives to be installed, so that even SSD and HDD fanatics like me could expand on internal storage some more. All in all, the Kolink Unity Arena ARGB seems to offer a remarkably good price-to-performance ratio, because not only does the case offer a lot of room to fit quite a bit of hardware in there, but it also already includes totally decent, usable, and somewhat quiet and spectacular ARGB fans, and that's 4 of them. The icing on the cake would have to be the integrated ARGB hub, including PWM fan control. So I'm seriously impressed with the Unity Arena ARGB. It's been a really long time now since a case last made even my enthusiast heart beat a little faster, and aesthetically it meets my taste 100%. I therefore, without even the slightest doubt, can highly recommend this case. Are you as impressed by the Unity Arena ARGB as I am? If not, what are your personal favorite PC cases within this price range? I'd certainly appreciate a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and if not, make that dislike button glow. With that said, thank you very much for watching everyone, and until the next one.